Mr. President, friends, and fellow citizens. 76 years ago, the people of this country were British subjects. The home government, although a considerable distance from your home, did, in the exercise of its parental prerogatives, impose upon its colonial children such restraints, burdens, and limitations as, in its mature judgment, it deemed wise, right, and proper. To say now that America was right and England wrong is exceedingly easy. It is fashionable to do so, but there was a time when to pronounce against England and in favor of the cause of the colonies tried men's souls. Your fathers felt themselves the victims of grievous wrongs, wholly incurable in their colonial capacity. Just here, the idea of a total separation from the colonies from the crown was born. It was a startling idea, much more so than we, at this distance of time, regard it. On the 2nd of July, 1776, the old Continental Congress clothed that dreadful idea with all the authority of national sanction. They did so in the form of a resolution. Resolved that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is, and ought to be, dissolved. Your fathers made good that resolution. They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their successes. Fellow citizens, I am not wanting in respect for the fathers of this republic. The signers of the Declaration of Independence were brave men. They were great men, too. They were statesmen, patriots, and heroes, and for the good they did and the principles they contended for, I will unite with you to honor their memory. I need not enter further into the causes which led to this anniversary. Many of you understand them better than I do. No, my business, if I have any here today, is with the present. Sidney Smith tells us that men seldom eulogize the wisdom and virtues of their fathers, but to excuse some folly or wickedness of their own. This truth is not a doubtful one. Fellow citizens, pardon me, allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? Would to God, both for your sakes and ours, that an affirmative answer could be truthfully returned to these questions. Then would my task be light, and my burden easy and delightful. But such is not the state of the case. I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice. I must mourn. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? My subject, then, fellow citizens, is American slavery. Standing with God and the crushed and bleeding slave on this occasion, I will dare to call in question and to denounce, with all the emphasis I can command, everything that serves to perpetuate slavery. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. So, I ask you all, what, to the American slave, is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. I have watched from the wharves the slave ships anchored from the shore with their cargoes of human flesh, waiting for favorable winds to waft them down the Chesapeake. Fellow citizens, this murderous traffic is today in active operation in this boasted republic. In the solitude of my spirit, I see clouds of dust raised on the highways of the South. I see the bleeding footsteps. I hear the doleful wail of fettered humanity on the way to the slave markets, where the victims are to be sold like horses, sheep, swine, knocked off to the highest bidder. There I see the tenderest ties ruthlessly broken, to gratify the lust, caprice, and rapacity of the buyers and sellers of men. Is this the land your fathers loved, the freedom which they toiled to win? Is this the earth whereon they moved? Are these the graves they slumber in? My spirit wearies of such blasphemy, and how such men can be supported as the standing types and representatives of Jesus Christ is a mystery which I leave others to penetrate. Fellow citizens, I will not enlarge further on your national inconsistencies. The existence of slavery in this country brands your republicanism as a sham, your humanity as a base pretense, and your Christianity as a lie. It destroys your moral power abroad. It corrupts your politicians at home. It fetters your progress. It is the enemy of your improvement and the deadly foe of education. It fosters pride. It breeds insolence. It promotes vice. It shelters crime. It is a curse to the earth that supports it, and yet you cling to it, as if it were the sheet anchor of all your hopes. But it is answered, in reply to all this, that precisely what I have now denounced is in fact guaranteed and sanctioned by the Constitution of the United States. Fellow citizens, I hold there is neither warrant, license, nor sanction of the hateful thing, but interpreted as it ought to be interpreted, the Constitution is a glorious liberty document. Read its preamble, consider its purposes. Is slavery among them? Is it at the gateway, or is it in the temple? It is neither. Now, take the Constitution according to its plain reading, and I defy the presentation of a single pro-slavery clause in it. On the other hand, it will be found to contain principles and purposes entirely hostile to the existence of slavery. Allow me to say, in conclusion, notwithstanding the dark picture I've this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country. A change has now come over the affairs of mankind. There are forces in operation which must inevitably work the downfall of slavery. Walled cities and empires have become unfashionable. Intelligence is penetrating the darkest corners of the globe. Oceans no longer divide but link nations together. Space is comparatively annihilated. Thoughts expressed on one side of the Atlantic are distinctly heard on the other. No abuse, no outrage, whether in taste, sport, or avarice, can now hide itself from the all-pervading light. So, fellow citizens, in the fervent aspirations of William Lloyd Garrison, I say, and let every heart join in saying it, Godspeed the year of Jubilee, the wide world over. When from their galling chains set free, the oppressed shall vilely bend the knee, and wear the yoke of tyranny like brutes no more. That year will come, and freedom's reign, to man his plundered rights again restore. With all the emphasis I can command, everything that serves to perpetuate it is the enemy of improvement, the deadly foe of education. It fosters prejudice. Read its preamble, consider its purposes. Is slavery among us?